Hey, what's going on, everybody? You're listening to Marrio Esco Live, where we like to interview people who are actively serving the community, share testimonies, music videos, exclusive updates and announcements, and really we just want to utilize the platform to encourage, edify, challenge if necessary as we go over various topics and subjects. We're not perfect and we don't have all the answers, but we're firm believers in iron sharpening iron, and we really just want to build and edify together. So with that said, I hope you're blessed and enjoy the show. Grace and peace.
What we all should be striving to do and not be so focused on the things that perish and just mean nothing.
Word.
So that's how I apply to me. And, you know, God is sovereign. So obviously Shane just basically continued God's message for me and my wife, you know, in his perfect sovereignty.
Let me see. Okay, Shane. I guess Shane was just like amen. And sorry, I was just reading Shane's comments. I thought he was gonna rate you, but instead he was just like helping you go along.
Oh, and he has a link there. So if you guys want to check out the sermon that he did,
oh, that's what's up.
Let's
pin that. Hold up, let me pin it. Got it. Go ahead.
It's called Scandalous Love. So it was a series. I actually got to hear one of the last. Well, I think it was the last. Sermon for that series that you did, so that was dope. I wish I could have heard all of them, you know, but I got to hear at least the last one, and it was super encouraging.
Sounds like it was a deep one for you.
It was, because it kind of just went along with what me and wifey are going through right now. So we both were like, we were blessed by it. It was dope.
That is dope.
Yeah.
See, and now I want to jump ahead and like dive into things that we need to go with our special guest. So, and I can't dive into those things, but you're touching up on a lot of those kinds of
that's crazy
things.
God's sovereignty,
you know what I mean?
Man.
Like you definitely touching up on a lot of those things. So we do have a special guest coming in.
Yeah. For those who are coming in new, we got Stephen the Levite coming. And I was just deep diving
on his verse of the week.
My verse of the week.
Yeah.
Because Mario's non-existent verse is nowhere to be found. If you guys find this verse, please contact us at marrioescolive.com.
Yep. Music at marrioesco.com.
Oh, excuse me. Want to make sure we give the right information. You need that verse for next week.
All right, cool. So yes, we do have a special guest coming in, but I don't want to take away from what you were saying. So did you wrap that up?
Yeah, I did.
All right, cool.
It was dope.
Now, here's the other thing. We forgot to record again.
No.
I got it going. But you got to, you know what I'm saying, man?
No, don't tell me. You got it?
You know what's bad funny? It says right here, like in big blue letters, like super
no, but seriously,
stand out on the
we're
dock.
Recording right now?
Now we are, yeah.
What do you mean now from this
No.
point?
I mean, we're live right now. Obviously, my bad, guys. We're just like reflecting. We're like having a pre-production meeting during the show.
Hey,
so what do you think? How do we test this?
Well, you confused me because you're like, now we are. Like, so were we always live?
No. We've been live, man. Everybody's with us.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. It's like,
everybody's with us.
I've been talking to people on here. Was this in my imagination?
So listen, as we wait, I was going to play it when he came on.
Oh, well, hold on real quick. Ferry C. Velt, welcome. He said, this is my first time here. It's amazing, brothers. Had to call that out. Appreciate you, Ferry C. Velt. Definitely hope to see you again, man. Keep rocking with us. It's only going to get better. We had 27 episodes.
Dope, 27 episodes. We got a special guest coming in. Right now, we're just kicking back until he gets on the show. I haven't even introduced him yet, but if y'all recognize him, cool. If you haven't,
well, you did with the video. If you saw the video.
I know. But if people don't know who he is,
okay.
Not everybody knows.
But if you haven't seen the video, just wait for it.
All right, so we're gonna wait. You want to play the same one again?
No. I'm saying wait for it because he's coming.
All right, gotcha.
And then y'all know, and it's gonna be a dope interview.
This track is called Toes.
Jazz grooves I dance to. I don't need a whack dude on trap tunes. Or non-rap dudes yelling out dance moves. Now here's your chance too.
Clap your hands and bring your hands up high.
Yeah.
Clap your hands and bring your hands up high.
Put 'em up,
Clap your
put 'em
hands
up.
and bring your hands up high.
Yo.
Clap your hands and bring your hands up high.
If you're feeling it, clink your glass too. Cause these are the jazz grooves I dance to. I don't need a whack dude on trap tunes. Or non-rap dudes yelling out dance moves. Now here's your chance too.
Clap your hands and bring your hands up high.
Yeah.
Clap your hands and bring your hands up high.
Put 'em
Clap
up,
your
put 'em
hands
up.
and bring your hands up high.
Yeah.
Clap your hands and bring your hands up high.
If you're feeling it, clink your glass too. Got the bubbly pouring through me. Apple cider inside of my flute, please. Carbonation pop in your face like a cool breeze. This ain't no pass on them bitter drinks like I'm Drew Brees. Yup, never been addicted to liquor. Never been over 10 but in need of a babysitter. Never been one to get drunk, get too much in my system. Always wanted to be in control of all of my senses, cause that's the source of my tempting. Never been one to give in to peer pressure. You're wasting your time of trying convincing me otherwise. It's different and from inside. It flipped it, it's from my pride. My selflessness was denied. Religious in others' eyes. My image was a lie presented. I wasn't pious or twisted. Stuff my mind with envision. Discussing, I admit it because my life has been shifted. I'm not the guy I was then, but my struggle's not at its ended. Listen, this is for Christians trying to do something different this new year. Like giving yourself the limit of sipping just 2 beers. The gym is overflowing, you're timid, but true fear begins with the Lord and sources your wisdom. Give 2 cheers, let's get it. Set your goals, be consistent. Give people close to permission to see you holding commitments. Be exposed when you didn't. We don't boast till it's finished. No, we gon' toast to win, and that's knowing the ghost is in us. Get your sipping. These are the jazz grooves I dance to. I don't need a whack dude on trap tunes. Or non-rap dudes yelling out dance moves. Now here's your chance too.
Clap your hands and bring your hands up high.
Yeah.
Clap your hands and bring your hands up high.
Put 'em up,
Clap your
put 'em
hands
up.
and bring your hands up high.
Yo.
Clap your hands and bring your hands up high.
If you're feeling it, clink your glass too. Cause these are the jazz grooves I dance to. I don't need a whack dude on trap tunes. Or non-rap dudes yelling out dance moves. Now here's your chance too.
Clap your hands and bring your hands up high.
Yeah.
Clap your hands and bring your hands up high.
Put 'em up,
Clap your
put 'em
hands
up.
and bring your hands up high.
Yeah.
Clap your hands and bring your hands up high.
If you're feeling it, clink your glass too.
Yeah, that was Toast. And for y'all who don't know who it is, Stephen the Levite is our special guest.
Yeah. It's gonna be dope.
If you don't know, you should know. And if you already know, cool. So yeah, Stephen the Levite is going to be joining us, and I'm excited about. So another thing that I want to talk to you guys about. How do you guys feel about that? Like when we do the invites and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I definitely want to. So we used to do in the beginning, we used to do straight interviews with people, which was cool because we could still do that. But it transitioned to more topical stuff because we wanted to take the opportunity to actually build with people. So I saw a lot of people leaving comments and things like that I couldn't really follow up with when we were live because I'm in the middle of interviewing someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this was a different way for us to now actually go back and forth with each other. So we started thinking, so how can we still incorporate, the hip hop with the art, and the show? Like, what can we do? And naturally it was, all right, why don't we just invite people that specify in that area, like that are, what I'm saying? Like, so if we're talking about like business, we think of Apple Jacks. If we're talking about like battle rap, we had, DI with us. If we talk about whatever, like, almost like people that have insight on those topics that could come in and give
like
us.
We're just not going to invite people random, just to be random. We want to have intention, even on the guests that we have. So we have our intentions for Stephen the Levite. It's going to be dope. I can't wait to dive into the stuff we're going to talk about. But yeah, man. So we want to just make sure we're not doing things just to do it. Last
week we had Q the Prophet.
Yeah.
From the NYC Cypher Part 2. I think they just dropped Part 3 recently.
Really?
I think they did.
I missed that.
And I've been trying to hit up Marcus Hall, who's the guy who's coordinating all these things from behind the scenes. So one of the things that Q the Prophet was talking about is that out in NYC, he noticed that there's a lot of separation and division amongst the Christian hip hop artists that are out there.
Yeah.
And he said, like, Marcus Hall came along with this vision to unite everybody and then made the investment and made the moves himself. And that's what brought them all together.
Which is super dope. You know what I mean? Like, I came from New York, so it's like, it's cool to see, that style of hip hop, and seeing brothers and sisters come together. Because if you didn't see the video, check it out. There's females in the videos too that are spitting just as hard, and it's dope.
I don't know if you're asking about the album's names. I don't know if you're talking about the NYC Cypher. Can you just clarify that?
Yeah. So
you're talking about the NYC Cypher?
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about at the moment. We're talking about the NYC Cypher that was broadcasting. There's like a part 1, part 2, and now Mario's saying there's a part 3. I think it's Kingdom Time.
Kingdom Time
Look
Entertainment.
up Kingdom Time, and you'll be able to see the ciphers, and it's just bringing different hip hop artists from New York together. So each video is a different collaborative. It's not the same people. So that's dope. They're putting people on, what I mean, or bringing people back, because Q the Prophet, has been doing it for a while. So him doing that was sick, because I got to be put on to him. I never heard of him until that cypher.
Yeah, me same here. So when I heard the cypher, I was like, oh, okay, let me see if I could reach out to somebody. And Q the Prophet was the first one. He was the first one to come out on the verse on the cypher. So I was like, let me hit him up.
Yeah.
And then I hit him up, and then it just worked out, and then boom, he was on it.
Yeah, it was sick.
But I'm trying to get in contact with Marcus Hall.
He's the guy who put it together.
Tag Marcus Hall and let him know. I've been trying to hit him up. He's been busy though. He's been putting out. I think he put out another project too, like another video. So he's been doing his thing. So I can understand that.
Yeah.
And it's cool that he's taking his time to bring people. Sometimes it takes somebody to make the commitment to unify everybody together to one common goal
and big ups
one
to
common
him,
vision,
because that's not easy.
It isn't easy.
Getting people together is not easy, and we only see the finished work, but there's a lot that goes on. Like, he has to get those dudes to agree. That's like the first process. Then they have to write their stuffs. Some people take longer than others. Some people bang it out quick. So you got to wait till that happens. Then they actually record it. Then it's the mixing and the mastering. Then the music video. Like, that's a lot of organizing. So big ups to him in getting that done, and it was done tastefully. It was dope. And the quality is there too.
The quality's there. You could tell that he's highlighting artists that he saw a lot of potential in. You could tell that he's trying to highlight everybody. It doesn't matter age, doesn't matter their gender. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, he's just unifying everybody that he knows has skill and talent, and is creating these dope visuals for, and these dope tracks, because this is like a breath of fresh air, man. Like that New England boom bap, raw, rugged type of sound.
It really is. And just the way everybody had their own style and their own swag, you know what I mean? Even their clothes, like, everybody had like a whole different feel. And then they just came hard and the beats was sick too. I don't know. Was the inner rapper in you getting activated when you heard those beats?
I mean, the beats it just remind me of old school boom bap, like back in the day, like East Coast, straight New York style. Like, and the fact that they were like NYC Cypher, they were all out in front of the bridge. Sick. They all had the bubble coats and the baggy gear. I'm like, yo, this is like, man, this is flashbacks, man. I'm like watching BET all over again. I'm like, hold up. So Wu-Tang is on, man. What's going on here? I was like,
I had to listen carefully to make sure.
Hip hop.
This is Christian.
Nah,
I want to go out and just start a ruckus. It's all this energy.
This is fire, man. I was like, man. And it was mad funny because when he was on the show, I told him, I was like, yo, I didn't realize, like, I started doing my research, right? Yeah. So I didn't realize it was the same organization that posted up my Lucky You video. I didn't realize that.
Yep.
So as I was like looking at who was putting the NYC ciphers together, I realized it was it was Kingdom Time Entertainment. I was like, oh, it was them.
That's fire.
And I was like, oh, that's dope. Like, I could tell what feel he's going for, because he posted up the Lucky You. He's doing the NYC ciphers. Like, you could tell he's going for that. East Coast boom bap.
This needs to happen, because I feel like a lot of the hip hop that exists nowadays is not like it's not type music you would consider hard. Like, yo, this is hard.
Right.
Now it's more melodic and soft. Not that that's a bad thing. There's a place for it.
Right.
But there hasn't been that feel of like, yo, this they're murdering this right now.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten this in a long time. So
Yeah, not only that, but then also like people trying to follow trends. Like I know we talk about it, but I mean that's what we're talking about right now. Like, so you hear?
I like that they
Oh,
brought
actually,
it back.
Stephen the Levite, when he jumps on, he was mentioning that like he didn't like the trap, the same trap drums, the same.
Yeah.
Like he was sick and tired of it. Like in order for him to protect himself from going insane, like he stayed away from it entirely. It was
That's
talking about soul music.
Yeah, and I love his style too. His style is crazy.
So it just had me thinking, like, you know what? That's true. That is true. Like, you do want to have, like, when you're an artist, you do want to be able to have different forms of expression around of that art.
I love
you don't
it.
want to have a whole bunch of the same old. Kind of want to push yourself to be a little bit more challenging and creative. I guess that's the artist tip of the day.
Artist tip of the day.
Ta-ding! We need a thing that we could press. Boom. Ta-ding! I totally agree. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's facts, man. You know, and actually that's another part of what we're doing on the show as well. We want to be able to share the experiences that we had as artists with music in general, man, whether it be technique in the booth or, you know, whether it be personal experiences, what to look out for, what types of things you should invest in, you know, and where, you know, those kind of things, you know, our experiences, the things that we learned over time.
Yeah. So, you know, because honestly, you could spend a lot of time wasting time trying to figure this out. So, you know, we did it. So why not, push it forward and help another artist and not have them go through that unnecessary, trial. So that's really what we want to do.
Learn lessons.
It's just, pass on the information to you guys and those who are interested in trying to become artists. Yep. I wish I had this.
Or not even just artists, just a creative all around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Like those trying to navigate and not sure how to go about things, it's not always going to be driven that way, but, we do want to drop gems for those artists that are trying to do something creatively and just assist you guys. And it goes beyond this show too. You guys can hit us up, on our pages and, we'll be willing to talk as well. Or you could give us ideas on what you want us to cover, and we could cover it on the show. And Marrio, you're gonna put the info, like the email and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna leave that down there too.
It's in the
I was just
description.
reading something that Epinero was putting down, and I was told to proofread before I try to jump out loud. Let me see. I think somebody's up in here. Hold up.
Is our guest ready to roll?
No, we're still the only ones in here.
Still the only ones? All right.
I thought he jumped in.
Well, I want to read this from Jasmine.
Go ahead, read it.
So I like the approach that you guys take because it gives us a chance to hear how Christ is working through creatives. It gives us a chance to hear different insights into what you guys have to work through when it comes to making music, movies, etc. Exactly. You got it. That's exactly what we want to do. And I appreciate the love, Jasmine. You know what I mean? Keep coming back, especially the encouragement is appreciated. It lets us know, too, that we're doing we're achieving the goal that we want. So we definitely appreciate that comment. And it says, also, it gives us brothers and sisters. I think that you're trying to say what to look out for, to support. Yeah. That's what we want to do, push the culture forward and also shed light on artists that are underrated, that hasn't been heard, or just even well-known artists that we just want to appreciate their work too. Doesn't have to be unknown. We just want to push the culture forward, really. That's the ultimate goal.
I mean, that seems to be a common theme, and I can't stand when you don't want to attach to something that's trending at the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the common language right now. I don't want to give examples. Don't careful with your examples. Careful with your example.
Push the culture.
No. It's a common thing that people talk about. Epinero says the same issue that has swept the modern churches with songs of bad theology and worship has long entered the CHH genre. So you will
more here. Melodic repetition, clean sound of clean sounds and endless rambling is what he says. That's at Pinero.
Appreciate the comment, Mr. Pinero.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is I mean it's a multitude of different things.
Yeah.
Nobody really can put their finger on what actually causes trends, and people.
No.
Some people give way too much credit toward other things.
I could tell you, I bet you 5-10 years ago, you probably would never believe that trap, and mumble rap was gonna be a top category and killing the game.
No,
you would not believe me if I was like, you ain't gonna understand none of them, and you're gonna bop your head to it. I promise you. You'd be like, nah, bruh, not me. I listen to Tupac.
You get enough people to
listen to Biggie.
You get enough people to say it's dope, and a whole bunch of people will be like, "Yo, that's so fire."
I'm not gonna lie, some of it I catch myself bopping my head to it. I'm like, dang, this beat is hard.
If you see a whole bunch of people that, I swear, like they do things, they drop little things, challenges and stuff like that, just to see how far they can spread it.
That's
you know what I
exactly
mean? Like
how they
somebody's
do it.
like, "Yo, how can we do this? Just drop this up in there and see what happens."
Whoever created them challenges is a genius, because that is the ultimate marketing tool, man. You get people to do this thing, like whatever it is, like, yo, touch your forehead 10 times to this beat, and somehow it catches fire, and all these little kids are touching their forehead 10 times to this beat, and I'm like,
no, but the challenges is brilliant, man.
That's what I'm saying, is
the
brilliant.
challenge, like especially if you're an artist, like the challenges, like dance challenges,
all of them.
That's genius, because you're gonna continuously play that song, and do all these challenges. Everybody's gonna play, their video, and
especially if you an artist,
just gonna be embedded in people's heads over and over.
So I'm saying, like, if you're an artist and you can tie yourself to a challenge and with one of your new tracks, that's like the ultimate marketing.
Do, right?
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's genius, because all those people are going to be looking for your music because they want to be a part of the challenge, and they're going to be playing it over and over. So it's like you getting everybody to get, like, not just listen, but actively involved with your album. Like,
right.
That's kind of crazy.
Yep.
That's genius.
It is genius. And it's straight like a guerrilla marketing strategy. It's the approach where it spreads. It's viral. You know what I mean?
Aggressively.
I think that's
is that where the guerrilla comes in?
What? Aggressively.
The marketing is mad aggressive, because you see it everywhere, bro.
All right, he's trying to. Stephen and Levi is hitting me up right now. He's saying he's trying to jump in.
Is it trying and it's not working, trying, or he's trying right now, like he's about to go right now? Because there's a difference.
I know we tried with you. Where's your guess? my mom Dukes, man, she's mad funny. Where's your guess? She texts me.
See, only your moms can check you. In the middle
of the show.
Only your moms could check you, in your own show.
In the middle of the show, she jumps in. Where's your guess?
You don't see the text, but she's like, "Shut up already and bring on the guest."
He's coming in. I'm messaging him right now. He's saying he's trying to jump in. All right, cool. Good. Go talk. You're supposed to be an expert at this.
Oh, I thought he was about to hop in now. I saw the screen flashing over there.
When you hear the ding, I got my eye on this over here.
Oh, okay.
And we tested this time.
We tested it, so I know it works. I know it definitely works, because I was loud and clear. You heard me just fine, so we shouldn't have any issues. What is he saying?
He said me out. He's writing something right now. I think he's trying to.
Boom. But yeah. So this let's see here.
Hold on one sec. Go ahead.
You are so right, Gil. Now she's texting me.
Tell her. Ma.
Now she's texting me. That's when you know she got pulled. She texting both of us. But yeah, so this is going to be dope.
So I'm going to start another one. Let's see. Right now.
Another what?
Another one right now. Another meeting.
Oh, you're like refreshing it.
Yep.
See what the peoples are saying.
Okay,
So yeah, so if you guys are tuning in now, we're trying to get Stephen the Levite on. Mario's trying to get him to basically sign in, and then they'll be able to hop on with us. And Stephen the Levite is a rapper, and we played his music in the beginning of the show. So if you guys don't know, you guys can like check him out. His music is phenomenal, and it's not your typical rap music either. It has like a jazzy feel, has a little soulfulness to it. If you the old school hip hop heads will definitely feel me on this when you check him out, because he hasn't really changed over to the new style. He's staying true to himself, which I love, and he's bringing that old school boom bap lyrical theology. Is sick. It's sick, and definitely edifying too, for my believers out there.
Go ahead, girl. Keep going. You're doing a great job. Go ahead. Don't lose confidence. This is great. I'm just trying
to make sure I'm staying up with the comments too, because right now you're like solely on getting.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening to your introduction because I'm about to pretty much reintroduce him after all that.
I know. That's why I'm like not trying to say.
Like, let me see how
all
good
this information
just off the top of his head.
Yeah, and then it's not easy because I'm like trying to say everything that's not on the document, because you're gonna have to go through it with him. So I'm like trying to go around all the things that I can say. It's not easy.
Come on, Steven. I feel like calling him on Facebook right now. Be like, yo, it's the email.
Oh, but you didn't tell him like when you spoke to him?
I did. Yeah, he said that it said meeting in progress or something like that.
Ah, got you.
So I just refreshed a new one and sent him a new invite. God bless you. Goodness, God bless you. Woo. All right, so Stephen the Levite, let me introduce you as he tries to enter.
Oh, Pharisee Vel, I see that. That's my favorite, the old school hip hop sound in CHH. Yeah, he's definitely in that category. So if you feeling that,
Yo,
he's here.
Daryl, you there? I see you in here. I heard the ding and everything. You just gotta,
Mr. Levite. It's crazy when people just hop in. Just hop in the show. We don't even know when they're coming on. It just.
I see you here. I see you in the meeting. I just can't hear you at all.
Straight up sounds like a doorbell. Only nobody's walking in. Legit. Sounds like a doorbell. Yeah. Looks like this system hates us. And I'm just gonna say this publicly. I rebuke
Steven, I think you joined
spirit.
without audio.
I rebuke this phone spirit.
Why don't you drop it and call back in? Drop it and call back in and try to hit with audio, because I think you joined. I'm not sure if you can hear me right now.
You don't even know if he can hear you.
He's in here. Oh, wait.
Now I see his name.
I see you hopped in again. With video this time.
What?
No audio. I see you. Do you hear me?
That's crazy that we can see him.
Oh, wait. I see the audio.
Hey.
There he is.
Hey. All right, y'all. We got Stephen the Levite in the building with us. What's up, brother? What's going on? Now,
chilling.
hold on. Let me flip this up.
Yo, that's funny. We was just watching your performance, and you was wearing that. I believe that shirt.
Really? Which performance?
I think it was the Give It Up. Was it the Give It Up live performance that you did on YouTube?
Yeah. No, it was a Bear Fruit shirt, but it wasn't this one. It was It was a size smaller at least and a different shade of color.
A size smaller and a shade of a different color. Oh,
Is
funny.
that the holidays or what?
Did the holidays hit you? Did you bear too much fruit?
Too many cheesesteaks.
Eat too many cheesesteaks. All right, for those that do not know, we have Daryl Bell in the building, aka Stephen the Levite, who's a Christian hip hop musician, rapper, songwriter, formerly with Lamp Mode. Can I say formerly? Is that correct?
Yeah, that would kind of be accurate at this point. Yeah.
All right, and you don't mind if we jump into that too for a little bit, right?
No, not at all.
All right, cool. So formerly with Lamp Mode, and also he was formerly a part of a group called the Collective with Timothy Brindle and Zeta Blacksmith. You released 4 albums with Lamp Mode, correct?
Yep.
4 albums. I think the last one was Can I Be Honest was the last album that you released with them. And we played one of your most recent songs that you released called Toast.
Yeah.
And I love that. By the way, I know I'm introducing you, but I gotta say right here, I love that like soul kind of jazzy feel, man.
Yeah, man.
It's definitely refreshing.
That's what I'm on right now.
And we'll talk into that. And so now, currently, you are independent, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you were born in San Diego. You flew out to Philly, and you currently reside in New York. Is that right?
Actually, no, that's not correct. We were in New York up until like August last year.
No, you're in Maryland now, right?
Yeah, we're in Maryland.
Oh, okay, so you're in Maryland now. Okay, gotcha.
New York got expensive. We had to leave. So
I feel that, bro.
So we're in Waldorf trying to kind of get back on our feet and get rid of some of this debt. So but that's where we are right now.
Cool, that's what's up, man. So Stephen the Levite is with us today, man, and I'm encouraged to have you on with us today. You were actually featured on my last album, The Chief, on a track called The Cipher, and I thank you for blessing me with that. And one of the things that stand out to me about you and your style is exactly that. I heard an interview recently about you were talking about the style, like the soul kind of style, and some of the things that you ran into just as a recording artist, and the changes that happened with Lamp Mode and everything. It's like everything around that time wasn't just a shift in business, but it was a shift in culture. Is that correct? Do you think so?
Yeah, absolutely. I think hip hop and a lot of other things, but even more so, I think more evidently, at least to us, because of culturally where we are, like I think a lot of us can culturally identify as hip hoppers, you know what I mean? And so for us, we see it more readily there. But just like the generation gap, like like when we came up, we looked up to the old heads that came before us. You know what I'm saying? We felt like there was kind of like some intergenerational respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't see old heads looking at Eminem like, who's this guy? You know what I'm saying? Or
facts.
Like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I feel like there was a lot of respect and a lot of us looking back at them saying they're the OGs, and a lot of them looking at us saying, yo, look at these cats go. Like, they're really killing it. They're taking the craft somewhere it needs to continue to move towards. But now you don't really see that as much. I mean, there's some select cats, like, even on Tribe Called Quest last album, like they particularly shouted out like Kendrick, J. Cole, and like, one or two other people, and said like, yo, this is what soul looks like in hip hop now. And, kind of passed the torch to them and said like, look, this is who you can look to now. But, outside of those select few people, there's not a lot of people that are in the mainstream doing the kind of music that was mainstream on the radio in the early 90s. And you can't even find a lot of the early 90s hip hoppers on the radio outside of like Jay-Z maybe, you know what I'm saying? So it's just an interesting climate where it's just like really like Rehoboam-ish, like, like we don't want to hear from your old heads. I'm gonna listen to my friends and my boys are telling me how to run my business, and that's all I need. You know what I'm saying?
Let me
There's
ask you
not a lot
something.
of,
Let me ask you something, because
Mhm.
you're talking in the perspective of hip hop as a whole, right?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
So how did that reflect toward you as an artist in Lamp Mode? And at one point, it seemed like Lamp Mode was the ones holding on to that torch in the front. It looked like it
Yeah, I
shifted
mean,
almost like from cross movement to like, all right, who's gonna take the torch? And it seemed like Lamp Mode was the one that grabbed that torch. You guys were doing the chopping. What was it called?
Chopping block.
Was it called the chopping
yeah, the top
block?
block.
And the videos you guys were doing. And at one point, you guys were like really like front center pioneers.
Yeah, yeah. So I think one of the major changes was that, so when lamp mode was kind of like popping, like I guess, like I think at one point somebody called us one of the big three. There was like a big three labels. It was like us, Reach, and Cross Movement. Um, at that point, like all of us were independent labels who weren't really like mainstream labels. Like you see, even Cross Movement, they got some shine. They were on BET back in the day. They had, they were the like pioneers for the genre.
Right.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the kind of weight and attention that Reach has now. You know,
Mm.
um, so so when we were kind of like popping as a label, like we were still comparable. Like Cross Movement would hit us up for features. We would hit up Cross Movement and them for features. Reach would hit me up for features. We would hit up them for features. Like we were all kind of on a level playing field, so to speak.
Wow.
But now it's like with Reach being as far out in front as they are and making the kind of money they're not making the kind of money, but
I know what you mean.
doing the kind of level of shows that they're doing, selling to the number of people that they're selling to, and all that. Like it's hard for a small independent label that still caters to what many would consider an underground style of music. It's hard for us to like, kind of compete with that. Not that we were really competing, but it's hard to kind of keep up with that. You know what I'm saying? So
Did you feel that? Did you feel that it was necessary for someone like Lamp Mode to try to keep up with that?
I think to an extent, yes, and to an extent, no. I think the part of me that would say yes is the part of me that says, oh, like we're running together, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like us and them, but side by side, like doing this Christian hip hop thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I
Like,
could
they're
tell
doing
by what
better.
you're saying. I could kind of read into that and say, oh, so you were the one that wanted to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like to an extent, like I mean, we're doing our thing. We weren't thinking about like, oh, it's ending. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're just doing our thing. And
Yeah, because
I
for
know, like,
me,
there's
I
some
feel
cats
like
who are
there's
on,
a
like,
there's a
the
need for
of,
both.
like CHH is dead and whatnot. But that's kind of like more of a newer conversation. Like,
Wait.
this is
What'd you
kinda
say?
Before
Can
people
you
started
rewind
saying
real
that.
quick? What did you say about CHH?
Oh yeah, I was just saying. Yeah. I mean, I said I know some people are like kind of on the CHH is dead tip, but this is kind of like before that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I don't know, like around the time that like like the church, like the church album that we dropped was coming out, or even before Can I Be Honest dropped. Like we were still putting out quality content that was like comparable, at least as far as like the level of the art and stuff like that, to what to what Reach was doing and what CM was doing.
And what is your opinion in regards to like the CHH is dead or not dead, or like?
Can you hear him? Oh, you can't hear him, huh?
Oh, I think he cut out.
Oh yeah, Steven. It looked like you froze a little bit. So if you can hop out and hop back in.
Yeah, that's weird.
Ooh.
It looks like we lost him.
Hold up. Connecting. It's reconnecting.
We're gonna try to get him back.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, brother. It just
Can you hear me?
rebooted.
Oh, okay.
I hear you.
That's weird.
My bad about
Yeah,
that.
that is kind of weird.
But you left off with what did you leave off with? You were saying.
Oh, well, my question is like in regards to CHH, like what do you like?
Oh,
what is
CHH
your-
being dead.
Yeah, what is your opinion on that? Like, because I know you kind of briefly touched that, but just wanted to get your opinion on it.
Yeah, I think it just is what it is. Like, it's always gonna fluctuate. I think, like, because there's always gonna be fans out there who just want to hear CHH. Like they're always just want to hear, like that's all they want. You know what I'm saying? If it's not lyrical theology, they're not interested. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're gonna be critical of cats that aren't. They're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? There's always gonna be that contingent. How big they are or how small they are, like I don't know. That's gonna fluctuate. But there's always gonna be some contingent who's just like, I want to hear doctrine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even me to an extent, like I'm not necessarily part of that like CHH only or if it's not lyrical theology, I don't want to hear it type camp. But at the same time, I don't want shallow content either. So
Fact.
So I'm kind of somewhere in between. Like I'm like, if it's dope, if it's soulful, then I'm gonna check it out. Period. You know what I'm saying?
But that's kind of like what we wanted to go up against, like how in CHH or if you're a Christian, that seems to be a common theme or a big stigma. Like if you're a Christian, it has to be super Christian, and I feel like there needs to be room for art. Like, you know what I mean? That has the Christian theme, but doesn't have to be like super, super theological all the time. Like you should be able to express yourself artistically and still show your faith. I'm not saying water it down or remove Christ, but it shouldn't have to be like a sermon every time.
Yeah, I agree. I think because one of my frustrations as an artist is that like my content is always going to be theological, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever I write something, it comes from a theological place.
Facts.
It's going to come from a theological place and it's going to come from a real place. Like there's usually some kind of life involved in what I'm trying to say. So theology kind of creates the framework for whatever I'm saying. My life forms the way and the perspective and the way that I communicate it, the emotion behind it or whatever. And I think there's not a lot of room for like content that doesn't have to be spoon fed. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people want it to be so basic and upfront and clear that when they hear it, they know exactly what you're talking about. They don't have to ask any questions. They don't have to think about it. They don't have to ponder. They don't have to do any of that. They just know from the gate, oh, he's talking about the doctrine of election, or, oh, he's talking about the resurrection of Jesus, or, oh, he's like, they just want it just out front, like the first time they hear it.
That's that backpacker mentality.
It's like,
you got to have some secret bars in there every now and then.
I don't think it's even a backpacker thing. I think it's just a Christian hip hop thing, because in secular hip hop, that's backpacker stuff. There's stuff that we don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like cats can get deep and they don't understand stuff, and we're cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was recently thinking about he's not even a backpacker really, but Childish Gambino, for instance, right?
Yeah.
A lot of his content, I'm not totally sure what he's saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
actually he would say the same thing though.
I don't even know what I be saying.
Yeah, and like even when people tried to ask him about Welcome to America,
he didn't know.
Like, I'm not gonna explain myself. You know what I'm saying?
He said it's whatever you want it to be.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm leaving it open to interpretation because it's art. And if we over-explain it, then it's not going to be as enjoyable anymore. So
true.
I kind of like that perspective.
Yeah. So I think there should be room for that in Christian hip hop as
Facts.
well, or hip hop or whatever. So
Facts.
I think there should be enough room for you to be creative and not feel the need to explain yourself the day after it's released.
Right.
Like, sit with it for a while. Like, think about it. Like, take it in. Like, do like you don't do that with everything else. Like you don't take the scriptures. I mean, of course, we want it to, you know, come to us quickly, but I feel like my like, so again, like for me personally, I try to help people to enjoy things about music that I enjoy. And what I enjoy about music and about the scriptures and about movies and anything else is the progressive revelation of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched it. I enjoyed parts of it. I watched it again. I enjoyed other parts of it that I didn't notice the first time. I watched it again and, oh snap, look, there's that other thing that I didn't notice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I enjoy that about the scriptures. I get that from the Bible, obviously, because we never get everything the first time we read it.
Right.
Or the 100th.
I remember making laps around the first few chapters of Genesis and bugging out every time because I was just like, yo, I didn't notice that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I love Genesis so much, right? And so I think with my music, what I've been trying to do, and I still get compliments today from people who hear Today is Gain, and they're like, yo, 10 years later, I finally got that one line about blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you should get everything the first time you hear it. I think, to me, that's what gives it replay value, is when I can listen to it years later and I'm like, oh, snap, I didn't notice that.
I didn't even catch that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So
I never thought like that as a writer.
You know, I
think today's genre, like the way people think today, one, they don't want to think when they hear music. And two, if they do think, they don't want to have to think any more than they have to listen to it once or twice to get everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they can't get it that quick, then they're just kind of done with it. Like, okay, I don't understand what's going on, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Struggle.
I know what you mean. I think there's a space for all of it, you know, to be honest. For me personally, I think just the same way, like the way you see it in your perspective is that there's room, you know, for you to just do your thing and not have to, you know, explicitly talk about things, you know, in full detail. There's room for that, and there should be balance for you to be able to express yourself creatively, you know, as an artist, but then also to, you know, to do so glorifying God. Even if it's not like, you know, we glorify God when we eat, we glorify God, you know what I mean? When we breathe, we glorify God when we wake up. Like, you glorifying God throughout your whole day. Now, is that exact thing that you're doing in that moment, like above God? No, you're doing that exact thing in that moment because of God. So you glorify him in all that you do, right? Am I off here?
Absolutely.
You know, so if you want to create a song about your wife, you know what I mean? And you just want to focus on just your beautiful wife, and you do this song dedicated to your wife, you bring God glory because you're loving the wife that he gave you.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Is that not facts?
Amen.
Or a song to your kids or whatever.
Speaking of wives.
Speaking of wives, go ahead. What's that about?
No, the podcast you guys super.
Sorry. Listen, Daryl, I gotta apologize in advance. This is episode 27, and we're still getting familiar with how do you call it? Transitioning. What do you call that?
No. Maybe that wasn't the smoothest transition.
That was a very choppy transition, bro. You might as well say cut, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
I thought it was kind of smooth. I'm like, speaking of wives,
bro. Step, we live right now, man. Everybody, like, we just lost. Actually, Daryl, you were in one of our shows and you corrected us on a name misspell. It was Jackie Hill. Jackie Hill. Do you remember that?
When you get corrected by Stephen the Levite.
Yeah, what was that? Y'all were talking about the whole what was it? Pen and pulpit thing or something?
No, we were talking about how Jackie Hill made a comment about learning different things from different denominations, and somebody jumped in and like, that's what we were talking about. I remember that. Okay. You remember that? So we got yelled at by Stephen the Levite, if y'all didn't know.
He did not withhold the rod.
He did not withhold the rod. All right, cool. So I guess, Daryl, that's our transition from my co-host about the podcast.
Yo, because I want to make sure we get to that. Because sometimes we ramble and then the guest leaves, and then we're like, dang, man, we should have asked them this. So I want to make sure that we
Hilarious.
get to this portion. Me
Yeah.
being a married man myself.
Dope. And I know you're itching to get on this topic. I know he
Yeah,
is.
bro, because it's dope. This podcast that you have with your wife, which just that
It's Our Sexual Healing, correct? Is the podcast?
Yep, that's correct.
yeah,
Our
just
Sexual Healing.
just the fact that you have something with your wife, I think is so dope that you guys get to share that
Yeah.
time creatively, spend time with one another, and talk
Yeah.
about real things. And then on top of that, the cherry on top is that everyone gets to hear it.
Yeah,
Yo,
yep.
I'm not gonna front.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
man.
piggyback off of what he just said right now. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I listened to one of your shows, the most recent show today, and I was like, wow, like this is a dope show, like raw, straightforward, no holding back, but still biblical.
Yeah.
Well
I
balanced,
agree.
bro. I love the show. So tell us about the show, man. Let me. It's your stage now.
Yeah, so basically after Can I Be Honest, which, again, focused a lot on our marriage and some of our issues and just the realities of being married. There was a lot of feedback and response, and I tried to figure out how I can, be able to kind of create a place where we can have conversations with other couples and other single people about marriage and sex and all the stuff that comes along with it. And kind of normalize the conversation because, there's like this kind of stigma about, like this taboo about sex in the church and stuff. So we wanted to have those conversations and be open and be blunt and just make things normal. And, and so our sexual healing kind of came from that. Me and my wife started talking about stuff, and we started off with like Periscope, and it's kind of like evolved since then. And now we have the podcast,
Wow.
which, a friend of ours was telling us to do for a long time, but we finally caught on. And so, so now we just kind of, we kind of use the culture and like what's going on in the culture as kind of like a diving board to
Yep.
jump off of, and kind of use scripture and, just godly wisdom to kind of, critique what the world is doing and what the church is doing, and kind of point people in what we believe to be the right direction. So,
No,
yeah, man. So
I
it's
love
been
it,
good
man.
so far.
I love it.
And not only do you have the podcast, but you guys actually serve in the body in this way too, right? Like you
Fact.
counsel actual couples.
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing that since, I don't know, it's probably been about like a good, like 7 or 8 years, like that we've been, kind of helping other couples out. Like we started, doing like some marriage mentoring, like for pre-engaged couples when we were at Epiphany in Philadelphia.
That's
And,
dope.
it kind of started there. And like from then we've been like just discipling couples, usually as they're like, in the process of getting married.
Now, do you
but even
extend the
after
service to now also people like not within your body? Like, let's say I wanted your service, like, I want to be discipled on you in regards to my marriage or whatever. Like I could just reach out to you and do that, like through the internet and over the phone and stuff like that.
Sounds like a Patreon question.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying,
Do you have a Patreon for your podcast?
No, we need to. We do have like, you can support through Anchor, but we are thinking about doing Patreon. But
that's dope.
yeah, but like, so I wouldn't call it discipling at that point, but we do try to make ourselves available, because I know that, not every church has a group of people that are willing to have these kind of conversations about sex and marriage. So we do try to make ourselves available. We're in the process of thinking through what that looks like, and how we can make ourselves available. But in the meanwhile, we just try to just give advice, and we're available on the podcast, or, usually we try to do like an FB Live or something like that. And, we give people our emails, like, hit us up. Like, you got questions. We want to help out. We want to, put the information out there so everybody can benefit. So if you wanted something, if you had a question or you had some kind of struggle you were going through, I would just say hit us up, send us an email, oursexualhealing@gmail.com. Like, we're available. We try to,
Now you guys touch up on some real topics.
Yeah, we try to talk
To
about
say the
everything.
least.
You talk up for some real topics.
Yeah. We try not to, limit ourselves. I think some people, as believers, like they don't want to talk about, masturbation or I don't know, sex toys
Yep.
or I don't know, is it okay for Christian married couples to have anal sex? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it
That's
to
crazy.
me, if it's something people are thinking about, then it's
That's
something they
clickbait.
should have
I'm going to
an
use that
answer
as my
for.
title of
You know
the
what I'm
show
saying?
now.
Those questions.
In quotes by Stephen the Levite. Nah, go ahead. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
it's all good. So to me, again, like if it's a real question that people are really having, then they should have Christian people around that are willing to give them real answers. So again, so this is my philosophy about it, right? As believers, God has given us the scriptures and the Holy Spirit to be able to understand them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has given us the manual and the only means to understand the manual for the way sex works.
Facts.
Therefore, that makes us the authority on earth for how sex works. So everybody should be coming to us with their questions.
Wow.
And if we
Preaching
don't have
bad.
the answers, then the world is clueless. Period.
That's crazy.
Yo, yeah,
That right there is a clip.
that's a clip and a half. Hold on. I got to play this real quick. Fire, bro.
Yo, I never thought of it like that. That is so interesting. The fact that we have Christ and we have the model of love, then we are the leaders in that.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
crazy. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah,
And yet we
yeah.
have all these Christians seeking help outside of the church for love advice and
Yeah.
marital advice.
And again, I think there are resources available outside of the church. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't go to a pastor for anatomy lessons on the clitoris. You know what I'm saying?
True.
That's very true.
So there are resources out there that are available for other things. But I think the way that the scriptures talk about sex and the way that it talks about marriage and all that kind of stuff should be our cornerstone, and then like all the other information we should process in light of that, and it should help us to come to good godly wisdom filled conclusions about what we can and we can't do, and what we should be cool with and what we shouldn't allow, as far as like sex and marriage is concerned. Because even dating, there's no blueprint in the scriptures. Like, all we have in the scriptures is, we arranged marriages. So when we live in the States and we have to try to figure out, like, how do I find a wife? Like,
Right.
My parents aren't going to arrange a marriage for me. So what do I do? Like, we should be
That's
able
crazy.
to draw conclusions from looking at what's in scripture, and like just understanding the culture well enough to know like what is seen as good and what's seen as evil, and what communicates the gospel in the best way, and figure out, all right, so this is how I'm going to go about doing it. Sisters don't like when you do A, B, and C, so I'm gonna stay away from that. These things kind of seem to agree with the way Jesus does things, or the way Solomon did things, or the way Jacob did things, so I'm gonna do that instead. You know what I'm saying? So again, those things kind of lay the foundation, but we also use culture to kind of, because there's no communication outside of culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Fact.
So
Yeah, because I know in your last show you guys were touching up on the whole R. Kelly thing, so I found that very interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that was we did part 2 today. But yeah, we had to talk about like how that whole situation, how the church should feel about it, what we thought about it, what warnings we can take from it, and make sure that people have a right view of the, because especially with R. Kelly kind of being associated with a lot of gospel artists, like you
For
want to
real.
make sure that the church isn't seen as just these complicit people who were cool with R.
accepting of
Kelly
all
doing
that.
A, B, and C.
Right. Yeah.
But it's crazy because it's like people forget that we human beings and we think about stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we Christian, but you know, when you and your wife, you think just like any other human being. You know, you have desires and different, you know, questions and different things that you're interested about. And, you know, and I think this is so interesting that you guys actually shed light on the things that are taboo.
I think it's needed. I think it's necessary. I'm
real.
so happy that it exists. I'm actually going to definitely refer that to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I thank you. I appreciate it.
And actually, you know what? I have an idea, but I want to talk about that with you personally.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk after the show because I got something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I know where he's going with this.
I just thought of it right now, and I think it would be a really dope thing. So
by the way, Stephen and Levi, if you don't know, this is Gil Vargas, by the way. I'm sorry. Forgive us. We are bad hosts. This is Gil Vargas. He's my dude. He's a singer, too. He's a Christian singer, R&B singer. Yeah. And I think he's referring to some ideas that he has with some of his projects.
Gotcha. Okay.
Regarding the topic of what you guys talk about, relations and stuff like that. That's kind of like an idea that he had for a project. But yeah, you guys can chop it up after.
Yeah, we definitely
just throwing them out there like that. Like,
my bad. It's just we were just talking about this situation.
You want to sign the contract now? We're gonna send it your way right now. You have to sign it, send it back live. We have to show everybody. No.
If we can get them on, if we're not just the whole time. Hello.
So listen, brother, not to switch it up, you know, last minute, but we are going to be, you know, cutting it in a little bit. I just wanted to talk a little bit about your music. So as of right now, what are you doing to provide that service musically as a recording artist right now?
So right now, the most noticeable thing is the verse of the month. I've been putting out a new verse every month. I'll take, you know, a track that, you know, has already been released, some instrumental from, you know, sometimes popular, but most of the time not so popular tracks. And I'll just write something to it, usually a verse long. Sometimes that verse turns into a whole song. I'm trying not to do that, but it happens sometimes. And I'll just put it out once a month. Just to let cats know that I'm still here and I'm still doing stuff. And then also I'm in the middle of working on a project. I kind of let the cat out of the bag with my last interview. My next album is completely produced by DJ Official.
Yeah.
I've had the beats. I've been working on the project since before he passed away. You know, so he sent me all the tracks. I've been writing to him. New York delayed me a lot because I was so busy doing everything else.
Yeah.
But you know, now that I'm not in New York, I've had a lot more time to write. So yeah, so that's all written. I just need to record it, get it mixed and mastered, and then hopefully I'll get it to everybody before summertime, hopefully.
Dope. Nice.
Yeah. So
and that's going to be completely independent with you, or is that going to be all right? Dope.
Yeah, completely independent. And I'm hoping to do another one. It's crazy too. I was telling the last interview too, like I had the idea of doing, like, again, this is before DJ Official passed away, so this is a while ago. I was like, I'm gonna just do like these like 7-track albums.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's doing that. I'm gonna just put out a short project, and you know, it'll make it easier for me to put the content out there quickly. And I'll be able to do like 3 of these joints, like, you know, hopefully like in a year. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, it took a lot longer than that. And, you know, since then, everybody's doing short projects. And now, like, now it looks like I'm riding somebody else's wave. But I'm serious. I really did have the idea before.
Bro, I believe you, because you were doing the podcast thing way before everybody. And now it's true. You know, like, leading the way, my dude.
Hey, I try. But
that happened to me one time, and I know how that feels. It's super upsetting when you have an idea that's original and
it's already done.
It gets taken. I had an idea for a barber app, and that thing exploded like way before it was big. I was like, yo, that would be so dope. So I feel you. It's like, man, if I would have just did it right then and there.
So right now, are you releasing these projects only through the Patreon to your Patreon supporters, or are you releasing them on like iTunes, digital streaming services, stuff like that?
So because they're not my tracks, because they're not my instrumentals, like it's just on the places where it can be free. So YouTube, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, and then it's on my Patreon. My ninjas, I call them. My patrons, they get it early and they get it free.
Dope.
So everybody else will get it on Friday. My patrons, my ninjas, they'll get it on Wednesday, and they can download it. Everybody else has to just stream it on YouTube or whatever. So, so that's the way I try to show them some favor.
That's dope.
By letting them get it early and free. So, so that's the best way to catch it. YouTube and Bandcamp have all of them. SoundCloud blocked me from putting one of them out.
Really?
So, yeah. I used the Wu-Tang instrumental, and they were like, nah.
I gotta take that down. Yo, Wu-Tang don't play, brother. Dang.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing.
Ain't nothing. Yo, you said it. You said it.
Yep. So you can't. They wouldn't let me drop it. So
Nope.
it's still sitting there.
They
Like,
should have had the kung fu
you
grip
have
on it.
a claim on this one. So, so yeah, that one's not coming out on SoundCloud, but you can find it on YouTube and Bandcamp. So
there you go. That's what's
fire.
up.
So everybody listening, check him out. You know, he's definitely someone to check out for real, especially with the Patreon. You guys can show him support.
Definitely, and I'll provide links as well. So listen, Daryl, we're gonna let you go, man. We appreciate you for joining us, man. It's definitely an honor, man. And you know, anytime, man, just hit me up direct, whatever, man. I'm here. We love, you know, what you're doing. We see it, we support it, and we're praying for you, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Hey, yo, Steven, look out for me, man. I'm going to be hitting you up soon. Gil Vargas or Gilbert Vargas will be one of my pages. I'll be hitting you up, bro.
It'll be in your spam box.
All right, cool.
It'll be in your spam box. Yeah, so please put me in priority. Like they tell you in emails. They're like, I'm probably going to come in your junk. So can you please move me to
Can
priority?
you check your junk, please? I'm there. All right, my brother. I love you,
No
dude.
doubt, I'll be looking for it.
All right, bro. Take care, bro.
All right, take care.
That's Stephen the Levite, our brother, man. We're excited. Zadok, I see you. What up?
Yo, what up, Zay?
Little late, but that's cool. Yeah, so that was Stephen the Levite. That's our dude. I like what he's doing. I like that he's staying true to his sound as an artist. I think that if he had some serious backing behind him, and if Lamp Mode was still up and running and doing its thing, and it put some finance behind him, I think he will be, you know, a dope artist to look out for. Even now, not knocking him. Even now, like, he's being faithful with his art. I'm not knocking him, but obviously you can tell he's independent, and we know what it's like to be independent. The realities of that.
Yep. And if you independent right now, you know exactly what we talking about. It's no joke. You know what I'm saying? And especially the way music is being consumed today is crazy, because you put out a whole body of work and within a week it's over.
Yeah.
It's done. All that money and time you just put into that body of work is now old news after like a week, unless you have a dope marketing plan and you keep it alive. But music is being consumed at it's just crazy speed.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, when I look at these artists, when I look at like people like Bridge B, when I look at like Stephen and Levite, and I see all these things happening around me, Lex Boogs out in, where's he at, Rhode Island? Shout out to Lex Boogs, we love you. Like, I look at all these independent artists and I'm just like, man, dude, man, you can start a super army with all these dudes, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people sleeping, man, on artists. A lot of people sleeping on a lot of these artists out here.
But hey, that's what we here for. So you guys, you know, the artists that, you know, we put on here, you know, just show support and let's keep this alive. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only way we're going to be able to continue to bless you guys and create more, is by you guys' help. You know what I mean? So support these artists, man. It's not easy out here. It's not out here in the streets.
Yo, man, you are funny today, man.
I'm trying.
You're a funny dude today.
You know what I mean?
True. It is true, man. But there are, you know what? There
It's
are a lot of
hard out
people.
here
You know
for
what? There are a lot of people that are coming together and wanting to see the thing move forward. There are some things happening behind the scenes, and people are aware that they want to actually make an impact. And I would like to think that, you know, being a thorn in everybody's side is a part. It plays a part in all that.
Yeah.
You know, checking each other and making sure that not only checking our motives, not only checking even our theology at times, but also checking like the way we move with each other, you know, as brothers, like, you know, just trying to help the genre grow. Because I know what happens, you know, a lot of people tend to, you know, fold up and want to maintain the following that they have and not share that. They don't want to spread that. That's the fear. And because our niche is so small and it's already small as is, right? So now it's like there ain't enough room for all of us. There's too many rappers out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so what I'm saying is, like, we grow that, we educate stuff like this, podcast shows, things like that, you know, journalists, whatever you are, you know, more web media sites and stuff like that pop up. Managers, like there's other positions we talked about earlier before in the show about everybody coming together collectively, promoters, marketers, you know, all that.
For real.
You know, where's our DJ Khaled? Where's our DJ Khaled at? I guess that's Kingdom Time.
Kingdom Time,
I guess Kingdom
so far
Time,
is the closest
Marcus Hall
thing.
is kind of trying to do that.
But I mean, we'll see. I mean, so far he got 3. I mean, time will tell because we need this continuing. That is the issue, is that things will start to move and then it kind of just falls apart. And that's the one
Which
of my
I
biggest...
wanted to get into with Stephen the Levite too, man.
I know,
But
that's why I just jumped in, because I know if we don't get to certain topics, we're just kind
gonna
of
keep going,
and then we lose them.
but we can bring him back. I think he had a good time.
I think we definitely need to bring him back because there's some things that we need to discuss. And to me, he's one of the like pioneers.
We can bring him back. That's fine.
We definitely
bring him back.
To.
You know,
I enjoyed having him though. You know, in the little bit that we did get to speak with him, he dropped a lot of gems. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you guys have questions, you know, that you want us to cover, because right now we just go over whatever we feel like it.
There was a few times we came in with nothing and we were
Seriously.
like, yo, what are we gonna do?
But this is, like I said, we want to build with y'all. So if you guys want us to cover something specific, let us know.
Yeah, man. Hey, we appreciate it, man. We're gonna keep bringing in special guests. We have some more special guests coming up in the future. And we definitely want to keep going with this. This is 27. We want to keep going. Shane will probably come back. We did have a new location, but the internet was an issue, and we're not going to compromise the show for a look. So we weren't gonna, you know, we decided to back out on that.
So we're gonna stick with y'all.
We're gonna stick with y'all
with
and
the
keep
knotted
building.
curtain behind us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
We got some stuff that we got to put up. But anyway, so yeah, the goal is to continue to have this, to continue to build with each other, to continue to talk about, you know, whatever the topic is, and just kind of like go through different topics together and share our opinions and grow together. Sort of like a way to just build. That's it. At the end of the day, we just try to build. That's it. And maybe as we move forward, maybe with you guys' help, if you guys are interested, we could develop, you know, beyond just that.
Yeah, I mean, we trying to do a lot of things. We trying to do live shows. We trying to do a lot of different things.
Take it on the road. I mean, we could do different things. We have the ability, the technology. So let us know.
I think this would be sick if we had this show, but with a live audience. So that's, you know, we trying to do something like that. You know, would you guys come to it?
We can too. Like literally, we can like take this on the road if we wanted to. like we could be in the whip, like
that
driving
would be
around,
so sick,
doing this show if we wanted to. But anyway, so actually, we were about to do that. We could share that, right? No.
Yeah.
So Gil is going to be singing.
For those still rocking with us right now,
Gil is going to be singing at a professional boxing. Is it a tournament? What is it?
No, it's a championship fight.
It's a championship fight here at the DCU Center? In Worcester, Mass.
No, I believe it's not
Palladium?
the DCU Center. It's
Palladium. It's Palladium.
I'll tell you right now.
Anyway, so he's going to be singing for one of these boxers when they come. Oh, no, you're singing the national anthem.
The national anthem, yeah. Which is a bucket list of mine because I've never done it. I've never sang the national anthem at like a big sports event, like, you know, basketball game or a football game or anything.
Yo, I see you. Yo, thank you, my dude. I see you, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so to be able to sing the national anthem at a professional boxing fight,
that's dope.
Gonna be sick.
That's dope. And we were fronting like we're media, right? Is that what we did? In good conscience, though, we were like, "Yo, we're a media company. We have our camera guy.
Low key.
On the low, we do a Marrio Esco live.
Somehow,
yo, on the low, we do a Marrio Esco live at the fight.
Marrio Esco live.
Don't tag
on the
Jose
fight.
Rivera, whatever.
And
you
he
do.
goes for the jab.
Yeah, and he goes.
And there's a uppercut. There's the uppercut.
You're stupid.
Like, when did Marrio Esco live
because
start commenting on fights? What are we watching? I thought this was a Christian podcast. Now we're covering boxing.
So anyway, yo, we love y'all. We hope you, a few of you already saying that's what's up. You guys enjoyed the show. We're glad you did. Next Wednesday, 8 p.m. instead of 8:30 p.m. We usually go live on Facebook at 8 p.m. now. For those jumping in, let me just update it now. 8 p.m. every Wednesday is what, Lord willing, that's what we commit to. We also upload it to YouTube. And you can check out my YouTube channel, Marrio Esco, 2 R's in my name. And we have the show that gets uploaded to YouTube. If you can't do the Facebook and you rather do the YouTube, you can do that. We're trying to find ways to multi-stream.
Yeah.
And we do have something in mind. It's just going to take a little bit of time for us to test and everything like that and really figure it out.
But for now, if you see value in the show and you love the show, share it with someone. Share it with someone that you think will enjoy the show and benefit from it.
Cool.
You know what I mean? It's part of our growth.
And the other thing too is for the podcast, if you have a podcast, you rather hear it on through your headphones and you don't have the time to look at it, we do have it available on the podcast as well. Wherever you have your podcast, most likely you'll find it.
Google,
Marrio, 2 R's in my name,
wherever.
Esco. You'll see the silhouette with the cross underneath, the audio and the wave, the audio and the film.
Yep.
And just hit subscribe to that. So there's other ways that you can enjoy the content. We're trying to find ways to meet you where you're at. That's what we're trying to do.
Oh, and one last reminder, now that we're going to be closing up soon, next week we're going to be coming on at 8 o'clock. We're not going to do 8:30 anymore. We just want to make it just a tad bit earlier. It's only a half-hour difference.
I already said that.
You did say that?
Yeah.
Just now?
Yeah, I already said that.
All right, so
I'm
kind of
going through all the things. Yeah. Yes, Wednesdays, 8 o'clock Eastern time, live, Facebook. We're trying to do YouTube. Check that out. We do upload to YouTube. If you prefer that, we have podcasts. We're trying to meet you where you at. God bless. Was that good? All right, can we get our...
that was an extreme recap. It was like barely words.
Yo,
YouTube, come back.
Y'all.
Subscribe. Check it. I'm
That's
Mario.
My
Gil.
mind is working like
Peace.
bullets on a dock now. That's how my mind is working. Bong, bong, bong. Check, check. I have to be a journalist according to Brent. Brent, I love
to
you.
the point where he was just saying words and sounds. Bam, dong, bong, ding. It's like, is he saying something?
Ping, bong, boom, bing. Grace and peace. Later.
Peace.
If you're listening on the podcast, be sure to check out my Facebook music page, Marrio Esco 1. Again, 2 R's in my name, the number 1 at the end, Marrio Esco 1. Be sure to like and follow that page because I like to give updates on who I'll be interviewing and leave a description on what we'll be talking about. And I also like the real-time one-on-one back and forth interaction. If you don't have the time to join us on Facebook Live, be sure to check out my podcast. It's called Marrio Esco Live, 2 R's in my name. Again, you'll see the white silhouette of myself with the cross underneath. Be sure to subscribe to that and follow the link as well to whatever podcast you're using or however you're receiving the podcast, and leave us a review. We love to hear feedback. You can also hit me up at music@marrioesco.com and just hit me up with some feedback and ways that we can improve the show or the things that you like and enjoy. Any type of feedback will be highly appreciated. Grace and peace.